What's up, you guys? Today is a hard day. Today is Monday, April 20th, and I took a fat loss on the charts. Oh my goodness. So basically what happened was I took a loss. I then took a break-even trade that was more A plus. It was like a more A plus setup, and I took a break-even trade. And then I proceeded to revenge trade and lose again. And so I blew my alpha account, and all my other accounts are just they're still up. Like overall, my accounts, I like where they're at. It's just that I had them at a really nice spot at the end of last week, and now they're just at a lesser nice spot, which is unfortunate. If I continue to trade how I know how to trade and like I have traded before, then I know that I will guarantee this payout. It's just only a matter of time. But let me just show you my thoughts behind these trades. So I'm just going to briefly run them down. So these were the two trade ideas. This first trade, basically off open, we took data highs, which I really was annoyed about, was really not loving the fact that we took them out off open. And we still had some of our new week opening gap left to fill. So I still was open to longs, and we then manipulated lower, taking out these internal lows. We left data lows, and there was also an unfilled 15-minute below. So I knew that was in the back of my mind. But at the same time, like, we inversed this 1-minute gap very nicely. So I kind of used my discretion to, like, I placed a limit right here and I got filled, and I was going to go break even at these swing highs, and it never gave me the opportunity to. So I lost $700 on that trade. I think the main issue behind the trade that I just explained was that we had data lows below and we swept major buy side liquidity, being the data high. So the data high was like, it was really important that we like either so the fact that we took it off open meant that like we should expect a rebalance lower, and I kind of had told myself I really would like this data low to be hit. So yeah, and basically, me losing that was like, okay, like it's very possible we could still have another good setup. And then we got this 1-minute inverse here, and that I really liked. I really liked this 1-minute inverse, so I decided to try it again to the 930 high, and it was going really well, actually. Like, I had gone break even, and I was up more than I had lost on the first trade at some point in this trade, and I was contemplating, oh, should I close early? Should I close early to secure a winning day and secure another payout? But I decided to hold, and it ended up hitting me at break even. And at that point, my emotions just took over, and I re-entered long basically right when I got stop break even, and I got cooked. So yeah, basically lost 1,600 on the day. My account balances are at like 4.6K or so. So it's still not bad, but like, honestly, had I like really been very patient, I really would have only taken the break-even trade that I took, that I just showed you guys, because that was the best setup of the day. That break-even trade, the trade off open was just not as good because we hadn't taken data low. Like, there was, price still had a reason to go lower. We had swapped major buy side liquidity, and we like didn't really rebalance. I honestly, like, the reason why I took this first trade is because I thought that this manipulation lower was good enough manipulation, but you can clearly see that, like, it was sweeping this low was ultimately the move that got us to move a little bit higher. So, an unfortunate day. What I am doing, because if you watched last episode, I also revenge traded last episode. So I am now realizing that this is a problem that I'm having, and it's a repeated problem. I did it last Tuesday and I did it today. And I know that every time I revenge trade, I'm not going to, like, that is a really bad decision to make. So what I am doing is going to be setting a daily loss limit again on my accounts. I used to have one, but I turned it off because, for an event like today where I, lose once and then want to like execute on a better setup, I think I should be allowed to execute on that better setup. But the daily loss limit is just for like safety purposes, I think. And same thing with the trade limit lockout. I'm going to set a 3 trade limit lockout because, sometimes I think that, like, it happened, like last Friday, it happened where I got break even twice, but my draw on liquidity was still intact, and I still thought we were going higher, and then I ended up banking. So it's kind of where I'm at. This has been a hard day. It's really hard to sit with myself when I know that I'm actively setting myself back, but like, I did really well last week. So far, I've done great this month, and I've already kind of met my objective for this month. I mean, to be fair, April is almost over. We only have like 2 weeks left of April. Um, but I want to end off the month strong, and I will do so by following my rules and staying consistent. So, yeah, you guys. For the rest of this week, my main goal is to just continue following my rules, and if I can do that, then I know that I will get this payout. So, yeah, guys, catch you guys tomorrow. What's going on, you guys? Dr. Tiger back again. And I am coming back at you with an update video that I scalped a winning day for a $11,000 payout. So I am going to be updating the balance. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, like, yes, I'm getting an $11,000 payout. I'm feeling really proud, especially of the way I traded end of last week. Like Thursday and Friday, those were both great days. But like yesterday and even today, like my execution today was just poor. And I'm actually recording this pre-market. This is at 9:08, and I saw clean continuation shorts presenting. And so I decided to try it for a winning day. And when I saw that I had enough to request a winning day, I just decided to close, and look at how we are fully delivering to full TP as we speak. Like obviously, like I kind of was just like gonna try a 2-to-1, and a 2-to-1 would have hit. There's also London and Asia low below, which I expect to get hit at this point. That's just feeling annoyed that I, closed early. Obviously, I mean, if it would have went up, perhaps I would have thought, oh, this was the right decision. But like, I feel like I just keep creating bad habits that I don't want to continue promoting. Like, this kind of was a painful trade. It probably would have been a painful trade to sit through, because it's like, oh, we're going to hit break even, and then no, we're not. Oh, we're going to hit break even, and then no, we're not. So, it is what it is. But ultimately, you guys, like, I am just trading to ultimately get payouts. Yes, I'm trying to trade well, and I'm trying to follow my rules and my system. And so I executed on something that I really liked. So I'm feeling proud of this trade idea. I just, like, I really could have banked on this setup. I was risking 2 minis. I risked 2 minis on this setup. And because it was a 20-point stop, like, I potentially could have won upwards of $1,500, or probably more than that, on each account. And it's because I was feeling confident in this trade. Like, let me just show you real quick. We basically, like, we had swept all-time highs, and then we just started delivering lower, and we inversed. So I was on the charts kind of early. We had inversed this 5-minute. We retested this 5-minute BPR. We respected it. And so I'm like, okay, I really love continuation shorts if we get a clean setup. And so we had held this 15-minute gap. We were kind of trading. So ES was trading in its hourly gap at the time. And so it was really us, it was a bearish 15-minute versus a bullish hourly. And the 15-minute was clearly starting to win when I saw these huge death candles. So I kind of entered mid-candle, and I immediately went break even. And I also just kind of closed early, because I'm like, you know what, this is a winning day. Like, I'm okay with that. I'm also just a little frustrated because had I not tilted yesterday, this payout could be a little bit larger. But you know what? It's a part of the process. This is all a part of the process. It's a part of learning. Like, I'm not going to get better if I don't make mistakes. And, it is what it is. I'm feeling proud of the way I traded last week. I'm feeling proud of the way I've traded so far this month. So I just have to keep doing the same. I'm going to take the rest of the day off. I don't really know how price action will go. I might be looking at it, but overall, just feeling pretty good. So anyways, guys, catch you guys tomorrow. What's up, guys? Dr. Tiger back again. Today is Wednesday, April 22nd. And I'm not going to lie, you guys, like, even though I just requested a payout and whatnot, like, I just feel like my trading has been sloppy, and I really want to work on that. Like, today was kind of just a bad day of price action. It was all right. But like, basically the things that I wanted to see swept did not get swept. And, it just was kind of unfortunate going into the day. So let me just tell you what happened. I took a loss during pre-market, and then I took a win. And let me just tell you about how those trades went. I also got some evals, and on the evals, like, I mean, I lost on them, and then I didn't trade on them when I took the winning trades. So they're kind of net down, but you know what? It's all right. It is what it is. But when it comes to these trades that I took. So the pre-market long looked pretty straightforward. It just was a continuation long to all-time highs, and we were clearly trending higher pre-market, and we had made relative equal highs with all-time highs. We tapped a 5-minute gap, and then we got a 1-minute inverse out, as well as a closure above the most recent down close candles, making it a CISD. I really liked this setup. It was a nice continuation long setup, and I would take this again. I think honestly, like, I really don't know why we delivered lower, especially because we really did not take. I will say we were overextended in this trade. I think that's part of the reason why it lost, but we, had already tapped our 5-minute gap, so I thought that was the rebalance we needed. But of course, it's always good to play it safer during pre-market, but I kind of just went for this aggressively and I lost. And then for my win on the day, that was the same trade. For my win on the day, you could see that we were clearly trending higher at this point, and we inversed basically every single bearish gap. We inversed this one, we inversed these ones. We failed to deliver lower here and here. We had some equal lows below, which I was looking at, and I really wanted to get C swept in order to really consider longs, but that did not happen. So at the end of the day, I just decided to wait for something that I liked better. And when I saw this retracement was into equilibrium, and then we got a very clean V-shape 30-second inverse. I entered mid-candle and I targeted all-time highs. I took a partial at all-time highs, and then I decided to leave the rest. Unfortunately though, like, I trailed my stop, and I trailed it so that I would recover back the losses that I had gotten from the first trade, and I got trailed out before hitting my full target. So the market is really playing with me, but I'm also kind of playing with myself because, again, like, my executions are just not that great, you guys. Like I just feel like I'm being so much more tempted by displacement, and like I'm just doing a lot of losing behaviors, and I really need to like lock in, right? Like, this is the first day or after a payout, and going forward with the rest of this week, like, I just need to know that or I just need to remember that, like, I don't have to trade every day, and I don't have to trade in improbable conditions. Like, let me just show you what this morning was. So, I mean, let's look at the 5-minute time frame. So, on the 5-minute time frame, this is what we looked like. It just really does not, it looks choppy. We were choppy overnight. We were choppy here. Like, we just kind of, we went higher and then we went lower and then we went higher. So I really just did not like that. I also really did not like how we did not sweep these equal lows. We swept out this sell side, but I thought that if we were to sweep the sell side, then and not sweep these equal lows, we basically have relative equal lows with equal lows. So I really just did not like leaving those. When I saw that we were displacing higher, I'm like, okay, then we are just going to go to all-time highs without taking them. And so that's why I was open to this 30-second, but I really was not open to longing this. I was not open to longing anything down here. So it's kind of where I'm at right now. I have passed my top step eval. This top step eval, I got a top step eval because this account right here, I believe it's this account, or is it that account? Yeah, this account right here has 4 payouts on it already. So there's really no point in, basically I intend to full port this on CPI, and I intend to full port this like eventually, but I'm just going to continue trading it to trade it, and CPI is in 3 weeks. So I'm really in no rush to blow this, express. But I don't want to get moved to live account. So, that's kind of the method. But this was my eval trade today. And I basically saw this sweep of these lows at all-time highs, and we had generated this nice LR here. It was technically bearish structure, but we had swept the 15-minute low, and I just really felt confident that that 15-minute was going to hold. So I kind of entered on this candle. I know it's not really my model, but there technically was a lower time frame inversion, like a 15-30 second. But I just decided to kind of send the high RR play, and it ended up working today. So, and if I had waited for this 1 minute to inverse here, then I absolutely would have gotten stopped break even, unless I, wasn't a wussy and I went break even here. So, those are my trades for the day. Just need to work on like not crashing out and managing my emotions overall. So catch you guys tomorrow. Y'all, I just took a beautiful trade on the NASDAQ. It is 10:30 on Thursday, April 23rd. This was kind of needed, especially because I've just kind of been struggling this past week as well as this week to stay disciplined and follow my rules and do all of that. And today I stayed extremely patient. I waited for the highest time frame structure to present, and when it was clear that we were going higher, I decided to execute. So let me just show you what I was seeing. So going into the day, this is what the charts look like going into the day. We had some data lows right here, and overall the high time frame is bullish. If you look at the 4 hour, we are just extremely bullish. So I wanted to trade with the trend high time frame, and therefore even though we were consolidating on the 1 hour and 15 minute, I kind of wanted these data lows to get taken off open and for us to then go higher, and that is exactly what happened. So let me just show you on the 1 minute. We had formed this data low at, what time was it? 9:13, 9:14. So we made that data low, and I decided like if these get taken, I would really like longs, and that's exactly what happened. 9:30 delivered lower. I honestly wanted this low because this would have made a protected low inside of a 15-minute gap, but it did not deliver that, and so I didn't really like longs initially. There was a 30-second over here that I faded. Hold on, I faded this 30-second because I just did not really love you know, how we faded this data low right here. So I was telling myself, if we were to be bullish, then I would expect these high time frame gaps to get inversed, and that's exactly what happened. We inversed this 3 minute and we inversed this 5 minute as well. So when I saw the 5 minute inverse, I decided to place a limit at this like 1 minute order block right here. You see this 1 minute order block, I placed a limit there, and so I placed a limit there, and it basically ripped to full TP with 0 drawdown. It's kind of unfortunate because I did de-risk on this trade. I only risked 1 mini when for 23 points, I probably could have risked like 14, 15 micros, but you know, it is what it is. A win is a win, and feeling good about that. So yeah, guys, just going to continue to try and trade well, and I know that that will be what will help continue my progress. So anyways, guys, catch you guys tomorrow. What's up, guys? Dr. Tiger back again. I'm currently on a walk. Today is Friday, April, I believe it's the 24th. I don't really know, but the reason I'm on a walk is because I took a loss on the charts, and I kind of just wanted to get outside and you know, like spend some time in nature. It really isn't nature, but you know, it's the best I can do right now. And I took a loss on the charts, and it was an avoidable mistake. It's really a mistake I haven't made before, but I saw a setup that I was liking at 9:59, and news came out at 10, and I just did not remember that there was news. I don't know if I would have taken it had I remembered, but I did not remember, so I took it, and I had a tight stop, and I got stopped out by news, and my idea ended up being correct. Overall, I think the main takeaway I can get from my loss today is that just have to be a little bit more patient. Like, you know, I have to let news happen. And, you know, I think the main issue with the trade is that my stop loss was like just tight for no reason. Sorry, kind of have to go like this because my arm was getting tired. But yeah, my stop loss was really not in a great spot. It was like kind of within a 1 minute bullish gap, and if we are to continue to be bullish, then price can retrace to that gap before going higher. So overall, you know, it is what it is, but you know, I learned about patience and stop loss placement and risk management, and also just like understanding news. Like whenever I take a trade or whenever I'm going into the day, I really need to be like super mindful of those events happening. So yeah, guys, that wraps up this week. This week has kind of been sloppy for my trading. It's been an inconsistent week. And you know, there's been revenge trading, there's been a payout, there's been a win following my rules, and then there's been a loss where I kind of like neglect being patient. So, you know, just wanting to, again, improve consistency in my trading. I know that if I continue to do the things that made me profitable, then I will continue to be profitable. And if I continue to do the things that do not make me profitable, then I will not be profitable. And I think that kind of is symbolic as to why I'm break even this week, because I broke my rules and I followed my rules, and overall it netted me a break even week. So, you know, it is what it is, but I will catch you guys next week.